successful IRS cases. Today, I want to talk about the W-2s that you'll be receiving soon if you hadn't already received it this month. There's been a change, and not one for the better, in my opinion, that employers now have to send in to the Social Security Administration their copy of the W-2s by the end of January, which is the same time that they must mail it to their employees. In the past, they had time to an extra month to make corrections. So you'd call your employer and say, hey, you messed up my W-2 over here, and go change it. And they would change it, no problem. And then they would, well, for some people, it was a problem. That's a whole other video about the cases I had to do when it was a problem. But they would correct the reports, and then at the end of February, send it into the Social Security Administration. Now, they have to send it in now at the end of January. So if you call up afterwards and say, I have this adjustment to make, then they have to send amended reports, not only on possibly their payroll reports, their state report, and their 941s, and may even affect their federal unemployment 940 return, but they have to redo the W-2s. And some employers might just get lazy and not care and not do it. That's going to cause problems. But mostly what I've seen in the past, and it doesn't happen too often, but it does happen. If the employer gets kind of creative and didn't pay all the taxes in, didn't pay all your taxes in, and I know this because I specialize in payroll issues dealing with the IRS. I have a corporate liquidation I do to save companies that owe tons of payroll. We cut it in half without filing an offer or a bankruptcy. But they may lower the withholding on your W-2 to cover the fact that they've shortchanged the IRS in their payroll deposits. So I urge everybody to make sure that you've kept tracks of your check, each paycheck that you've got, and that your W-2 reflects the proper withholding amount, because those are your taxes you paid that you need to get credit for. And a lot of people have not done that, and this year especially do it because the IRS, in my opinion, is trying to get as much money out of people as they can, more so now than in the past. Now, I also just picked up a recent case where and I've had plenty of these before, where the person was paid contract and is now saying that they didn't know that the employer was supposed to take out taxes and their personal income tax is not paid. And I've won and lost cases in that area because basically, how foolish can you be? If you agree to be paid a certain amount of money and your employer is paying you that amount of money and there's no deductions on what they report to you, how could you possibly think that they've been paying your taxes? Again, that has to do with awareness. I've been doing taxes since I was 19 in 1975. And what I've discovered all through now is it's your awareness. It goes in all areas of life. People do foolish investments and lose their money. They might go to cheap doctors and dentists and who don't help them at all. And I've got other videos where, and this is what I'm out to accomplish now, is I'm really trying to push people to not make assumptions that people are going to take care of you. I mean, I do 1-hour consultations where I can educate you that's, worth, who knows what it's worth, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. You should not be in the dark anymore about what the IRS has on you, what companies are sending to the IRS, your wage and income transcript. How could you possibly just send a return in without knowing what the IRS has on you? So subscribe to my videos to get the updates. If you need help now, call Stephanie, 713-774-4467. She'll talk to you, no charge. She'll tell you what's in your best interest to do. And if it's in your best interest to hire us, then she'll recommend that and set up a consultation. That's it for now. And make sure your W-2s reflect what you think they're supposed to reflect. I'm going to continue. I had this case. I had a waiter. He thought he was being slick, got paid cash under the table for about 12, 13 grand. And later on, he gets a letter from the IRS that the employer reported a 1099 on him saying that he paid him $25,000. And this is what people do. If you're going to do things that you think are going to skirt the law, then it's going to come back on you. I also tell people about other experiences I've had where employers, let me think, they'll hire contract labor people, and the same thing will happen. They'll report more, or they'll not pay you and then say, oh, well, you're here illegally anyway, I don't have to pay you, and take a hike, and they do that stuff too. There's so many things that people lose out on. There's an expression, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. And that's very true in this industry. Be aware of those people who arbitrarily attempt to get you the biggest refund. I mean, I can zero out anybody's taxes with the knowledge I have, but what good is that if I lose my license and you go to jail for fraud? Keep that in mind. This year especially, you must really, really pay attention to your tax situation, and don't just arbitrarily go to somebody unless you can personally trust that person. And if you want to know how to personally trust that person, just ask. Thank you.